you guys all gather around.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
So Magdala is totally run by volunteers, totally run by donations. One of the major donors that started the project from our two donors from Mexico, one being the co-founder of Corona Beer. And he continues to fund. So next time you order beer, if it's Corona, think of Magdala. But this first room here is known as the study room. And we have this stone here that's very important with the long indentations on. That's where the scrolls of the Torah would have been placed as it was read from. So the Torah would have been rolled out and the scrolls placed in there to help hold it in place. And you can imagine a room of little boys here. So this is the only synagogue that has been discovered from the 1st century around the Sea of Galilee in all of Israel. There's only 7 in all of Israel from the 1st century that have been discovered. We know Jesus lived from 4 BC to about 30 AD, and this synagogue is dated 2 AD to 67 AD. So we know it's the time of Jesus, and we also know that Jesus just lived down the road in Nazareth. If this was a major marketplace and a major fishing port, which I haven't said yet, it is a major fishing port for Romans, for Jewish people, for the Gentiles, everybody. It's a pretty major place. So you can imagine yourself living in a little town and how much you look forward to going to the city, right? To do shopping. That's what Magdala was. So I think, my opinion, Jesus as a little boy probably came here with Mary and Joseph. Maybe Joseph got some carpentry work. Maybe Jesus was sitting in the study room with the other little Jewish boys, preparing for his bar mitzvah and reading from the Torah. Not only, recorded in the scriptures about his ministry, but think of what life would have been like, right? The Jewish life at the time. And it makes sense. If this was a major area, marketplace, kind of going to the city, that more than likely Jesus was here. But we lost the video, so we're still looking for that pillar that says Jesus was here. High probability, and there's 2 factors that I always think. Think how important Mary Magdalene was to Jesus, right, and the women. She not only was cured of 7 demons that haunted her for so long by him and was so grateful to him. She is recorded as caring for him, right? Probably preparing some meals for the apostles, inviting them into her home. But she was there not only when he died on the cross, but when his body was taken down from the cross. And when she had helped to anoint it when it was taken. And then she was there to find out that the body was gone. She didn't quite understand what happened yet, and then she was there to announce the resurrection. That's a pretty important person, right? Even though women were secondary in the patriarchal society of the Jewish society at the time, they still had a role, kind of that background role, that background straight. A strong man with a good woman behind them, a group of women in this case. So Mary lived here, so high probability that Jesus was here, right? She played that important role. The other thing is we have the mountain behind us, Mount Alban. Did I say that right? Yes, I think it's right. Yeah. I'm still learning those things too. But there's a valley on the other side. But the natural path to follow to travel along the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus preached along the in the synagogues along the Sea of Galilee. We've got a synagogue here. We're along the Sea of Galilee, and the natural path is not to go over that mountain and travel down the valley. It's to walk along here and to travel along here. So it makes sense. It makes sense. So the main part of the synagogue, we still have the 3 pillars and the Magdala stone. There is the symbol of the almond flower on top. So the 6 petals and the petals around represent the 12 tribes of Israel. And it is supposed to be a copy of the temple from Jerusalem. The one side, as we approach, we can walk and talk. There's a menorah that would be facing the person that would be reading from the stone. We can see 3 layers of seating here.
racialized. Well, yeah, one of the things.
Okay. Okay. Do you think they, this was originally made, the clean the stones, looks like there's cement. So presumably, they have cement
So
back
you can
there.
take a look at our synagogue a little closer here and see 3 rows of seating. How many people do you think could fit in here? We've got seating here along the wall, another set of seating, and another row of seating. We have the reading from the stone facing Jerusalem. The stone has a picture of the menorah. It's supposed to model the gold menorah in the big temple in Jerusalem. The Magdala flowers on top are very common, but they were also found on the veil of the Holy of the Holies in the temple that separated the Holy of the Holies from the rest of the temple. And then on this side, we have the 2 chariot wheels with fire underneath that represent God from Ezekiel, the chariots of fire of God. How many people? Anybody? Give me a number. 100 we got. 150? Those are great numbers. I figured around 150 to 200 on the seats. Everything is original here. You're touching original 1st century stone here. Except 2 things. That cornerstone is a replica, or the reading stone is a replica, but it's in the exact spot where it was found. And the other thing they've added here is they've injected cement underneath this mosaic so you can see it a little better. The mosaic copies the pattern of eternity, similar to Greek, but we don't have any idols. Right, that was not allowed in the Jewish synagogue. And we also have the Magdala symbol again, the 6 petals, in a black and a white pattern. We have frescoes, which weren't always common in the synagogues. We knew the synagogue was, pretty important, being a major fishing port. So we have some remnants of the fresco here, and in that little room there. And they presume that little room was used for holding the Torahs, like a sacred room to keep the Torahs in.
How's everything preserved so well?
Well, that's the miracle of it. So when they dug, they found this layer. So most places you go to, there's multiple layers of history. So they were able to find this layer, and they actually dug some holes underneath to see if there was more underneath, and there's nothing underneath as well. So there's a couple of theories the historians and archaeologists have. We have to get the geography guys involved, or ladies involved too. They know that this was a major port, but they they also know that during the time of the Second Temple, which is Sarah was known, that the temple had already been destroyed once and rebuilt. And the Second Temple was destroyed by 70 AD. This town was abandoned in 67 AD. And everybody went up to the port and got in the boats. And it's recorded in the scriptures and in Roman history that the Sea of Galilee turned blood red. So during the revolt, so there was a Jewish revolt against the Roman rule that caused this great war to happen. And so there were no human bones found here. There were no other layers of history. So that is what is so wonderful and unique about Magdala. So we know the people fled, and if they did perish, they perished on the sea. Maybe they got away. But the other factor is this area they know was flooded about 100 AD. I'm not sure how long it lasted. It could have lasted 50 to 60 years. But that's also, I think, what preserved this so well. Yeah, it's pretty miraculous to know that this is the only layer of history and everything is authentic and where we found it.